Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Peripass webinar. You know me at this point. I'm Lily. I'm your usual host, and with me I have my special guest of the day, Lien.
Hi.
Before we get started, I just want to give some people a little bit more time to join us because I see not everyone has arrived yet. But in the meantime, could you guys maybe let us know if you can hear and see us properly in the chat here? All good.
Thank
Ah, hey,
you.
Robbie.
Hey, Robbie.
And now I have your attention on the chat. Please note that we also have a questions tab, and that's where I would love for you guys to put your questions for the Q&A session at the end. So all the questions are nicely grouped together, so we can all, yeah, we don't miss any of the questions that you
Mhm.
guys have. All right, hello everyone. Let's
I
wait like
see.
one
Yeah, I
more
see the
minute.
count going up.
Yeah, so it's always like one more minute is usually a good idea. In the meantime, everyone can say hi. And then we can get started. Okay, I think we can. I think we can get going.
yes.
Our topic of today is how the combined features transport really helps logistics managers and everyone working in logistics to hit all of their KPIs. We're talking about 3 KPIs specifically this afternoon, this morning, afternoon. What am I saying?
We're
And
still thinking.
yes, and then we have our guest Lien. Lien, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm a customer success manager of some of the people I already see in the chat. So hi there. I basically focus on making sure that my customers get the most value out of Peripass, and that's exactly what I'm doing today as well.
Okay, awesome. So, as I said, today is all about hitting your KPIs using the combined transports feature. And of course, we all love hitting our own personal KPIs and
Mhm.
we want to make the best of every day. So, what are we talking about today?
Well, the feature that we're gonna pick apart is actually going to help us to get truck turnout over time to decrease, to increase the yard occupancy rate so that you take the best use or you make the best use out of your
Hmm.
docks, and the gate to dock processing time will diminish.
Okay.
So the idea is to focus on spending less time at the gate, spending less time idling on the yard, and spending less time between shipments.
Okay, that sounds super interesting and very relevant, I think, for our clients. So, we are talking about combined
Mhm.
transports. What are the challenges that pushed us to develop this feature?
Well, typically the flow is when a driver arrives at
Hmm.
the yards, they register, they add their phone number, do their safety test, like the whole shebang that you're all used to.
Hmm.
However, when they have multiple shipping references or multiple PO numbers, it's tough because there's not an easy way to make sure that they get processed in the right direction.
Hmm.
We see different workarounds, but none of them are a real solution. What are the pain points? Well, actually, wasted time for both the driver and the dispatchers, a lack of operational trail when driver registers once, so the data on the other references is not captured, or drivers pick the wrong reference first, meaning that the incorrect dispatch order gets used.
Yeah. And all of that causes delays, that slows down your yard operation, and that's what we don't want.
Mhm.
So, can you remind the people what combined transport is?
Of course, it's simple. There's actually two ways to use combined transports depending on the type of organization that you have.
Hmm.
First of all, we have the option that you let the transports be combined by your driver.
Hmm.
So that means that you give the option to your driver when they are going through their registration that they enter more than one reference number at the kiosk. You will ask that questions. Apart from this reference number, do you have other reference numbers you are here to pick up or drop off?
Hmm.
Your driver puts that in there, and your system will automatically detect which ones need to be picked first.
Yeah.
Meaning that if there's an unloading in between, of course you're going to unload first before you're going to load. The second option is by letting the combination be done by your system,
Hmm.
meaning that whenever a driver arrives with multiple shipment numbers, when they put in one, the system will automatically give a list of all the shipment numbers that are linked to that driver.
Hmm.
And of course, again, the whole automation kicks in, making sure that everything is done in the correct sequence and dispatched in the correct sequence.
Okay, so one registration, multiple actions, and everything's connected.
Exactly.
All right, so now we're going to start looking at those KPIs we talked about and how combined transports will help. So, speeding up that truck turnaround time. I'm assuming this means that drivers no longer need to leave and re enter multiple times.
Correct. For example, let's say a driver is expected to do first the unloading of some goods
Hmm.
and then load some new ones. As you said, a workaround we hear regularly is a driver needs to leave
Hmm.
after they did the unloading, re-register for loading, and then be dispatched again. Of course, this leads to longer turnaround time, efficiency loss on
Mm,
your yard, extra truck movement, which is decreasing the safety on your yard, and it is annoying for your drivers.
fair, also a point there. And overall, it's just slow, it's not efficient. So, what is the biggest difference that combined transports brings here?
Well, drivers use one of the references. It can be
Hmm.
loading or unloading. They don't have to pick the right one or the first one. Our system detects if this reference is part of a combined transport.
Hmm.
And the driver has an overview during registration of which our transports are linked to each other. After registration, all linked operations will be activated in
Hmm.
Peripass,
Yes.
and that results in a clear sequence when it comes to dispatching. So the first operations or the first shipments will be on waiting dispatch,
Hmm.
and all the other linked operations will also be viewed or will be visual in your visitor list, but they will have the status waiting sequence because they are linked to only be start kicking in after the first one is finished.
So, first dispatching and then the sequence gets activated.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Okay. So the benefits are very obvious: faster truck turnaround times, which is exactly what we're looking for. Drivers no longer need to leave the site. There's less idle time, less queuing, just a whole lot less of that inefficiency.
Exactly. Better flows, fewer delays.
Cool. All right. Next KPI are yard occupancy rates. So that drivers with multiple references no longer need to register multiple times, which means they spend less time in the yard or in the parking lots with unclear communication, where mistakes happen, and also dispatching mistakes happen.
Indeed. So let's say again, the driver
Hmm.
is expected to be to be unloading first and then loading. Logic. The driver is asked to register separately for each reference on arrival,
Hmm.
meaning that they start a registration process. They put in one of their references, they finish it, and they immediately start registering the second one. That's
Hmm.
what you could do as a workaround when you don't have combined transport.
Yeah.
However, that means that at the end of that process, what your dispatchers will see is
Hmm.
they will have two different reference numbers, which appear to be two different drivers who arrived,
Okay.
one for unloading and one for loading,
Hmm.
which, while in reality, it is the same person. So the system cannot make that differentiation or cannot link them to each other. This creates confusion.
Hmm.
An unloading dispatcher may call off the driver to dock 12 for unloading, while the loading dispatcher might do the same for that same driver and puts them to dock 1.
Hmm.
Of course, what will happen is that your driver receives two texts telling him something completely different to be doing, and
Yeah.
he doesn't know what's going on right now.
Okay. So the key benefits with the combined transports is the correct order of dispatch, big one, I would
Mhm.
say. It's easy to follow, easy to trace, and there is no chance of making mistakes by unloading or loading before the other action has been completed.
Mhm.
Okay.
So minimal effort
Hmm.
during registration, minimal human error during dispatch.
Yeah.
That's the result.
All right. And then our third KPI, gate to dock processing time. So we can summarize that as drivers no longer need to use one of the references and then start talking to someone on site, which means that all of that time gets reduced a lot. So the drivers can previously be told that they need to use one of the PO numbers for shipments.
Correct.
Okay, so I can definitely see how mistakes will happen there. Loading and unloading get combined, and without the combined transports feature, yeah, that means that they have to talk and there is no traceability.
Indeed. First of all, let's hope that the driver uses the unloading references at registration. If not, they'll be assigned to a loading dock,
Okay.
only to find out at the dock that unloading should have happened first at a different dock, probably. After unloading operations, the driver has to explain, often with a lot of language barriers, as you're all used to, that they have another loading task. An operator at that first dock will need to involve a colleague from the expedition and try to figure out where should this driver go next, often via walkie-talkies or Teams chats. The dispatcher then has to manually add that reference number to the dispatching dashboard. If not, they no longer have any real-time overview of dock occupancy. Downside, unclear, error-prone communication. One or more references remain marked as expected and must be manually updated. And this leads to unclear operations, chaos, and poor shipment traceability.
So yeah, a lot of manual work, a lot of finding people on the yard, a lot of chasing people around. So with combined transports, we have traceability, smooth communication, not only that language barrier that we talk about so often, but also between team leaders and dispatchers, staff being called, saying like, hey, I have a guy here, he needs to go somewhere else. So it's a lot easier. Now, let's talk about some maybe less obvious use cases. So what if a driver arrives with an unexpected combined transport, or you were not informed that one driver would be there for two actions? So you were expecting two drivers. How would we handle that?
But that's not a problem. Drivers can group shipments during registration. How they register during registration, they are prompted to add any other references that they might need to pick up or drop off. Now they will appear in the same way as the combined transport done by you as an organization. And Peripass will group them just like any other combined transport, meaning that the sequence logic will also be captured there.
Okay, I think I get it, but can we maybe see a demo?
Of course.
Awesome. So Lien will now share her screen. Let's see how that looks for everyone. Looks good. You guys can see her screen as well?
Yes. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
So what will we be doing now? First of all, I'm going to show you the visitor list, just to give you a bit of an idea of what a combined transport looks like. So at the top of the page, you see two different shipment numbers that are in sequence. So that are a combined transport. How can we see that they're linked to each other? Well, thanks to the visit number being the same. So that's actually the way that our system connects them to each other.
Okay.
What happens or what happened during the registration? Well, the driver registered with one of the two shipment numbers, and they were both put on waiting dispatch and waiting sequence. So that's what we told just before. This is meaning that this is an unloading task, as you can see. So it will happen first, even though that the driver put in maybe this reference number during registration.
Doesn't matter, still gets
the
flagged.
logic, and I will show you later on what that logic, well, how easy you can put that logic in place. And then secondly, as you can see, waiting sequence, this is the loading reference. What is the logic here? As soon as you dispatch this and this dispatching is done, or the unloading is done, this one will kick in and the driver will receive the communication for that second task.
Okay.
So that's a bit of the idea. But now let's dive into what it looks like for a driver.
Okay.
So as you can see right here, we have two shipments, 1001 and 1002 expected. And as you can see, again, the visit number here is listed as 1000.
Yeah.
So let's go to the registration. I will pick my language. I will put in my reference number. I will click on continue, and this is what your driver will see. They put in the 1001, but our system knows you also are here to pick up 1002. Okay, this is the list of all the references that you're here to work on.
So this can also be more.
It can be more. Yeah,
Okay.
it could be 20,
Yeah.
depending on
Unlikely,
whatever
but you never know.
you're processing.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, the whole registration happens like we're used to. I'm just quickly gonna go through that, not to...
Showing us the new WhatsApp feature as well.
Yes, yes. Let's see. I have to open my chats, put in my two-factor authentication, something that we use, of course, to make sure that the driver has put in the right telephone number.
Mm-hmm.
We click on next, and that's it. So that's what your driver sees. Of course, now they will be waiting for you to dispatch them.
Of course.
But what will your people see in this view? Here we go. As you can see, the 1001 is waiting to be dispatched and the 1002 is waiting sequence.
Yeah.
Let's move to the dispatch dashboard. This is typically what your dispatchers will see. Well, they see, of course, only the 1001 listed here because that's the only one that we can now dispatch.
So no chance of mistakes, of accidentally moving the wrong one. No, perfect.
Not at all. Let's take a look at some more details. So if we look at this, I'm gonna move that away. We can see the combined transport reference right here. And if I click on view combined transport, then you get this whole overview as well.
And again, if you had the 20 that we talked about, you would all see them here.
Yeah, it would be a full list.
Okay.
Yeah. So, of course, I made sure that it's also visualized on the little card right here so that you don't have to do that drill down every time. That's again a setting that you can opt for.
Okay.
But the other thing that you mentioned as one of the examples was what happens if a driver arrives and they don't have a combined transport set up for them yet. However, they are there to do two tasks.
Yeah.
Well,
the unexpected combined transports.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what happens then, if we take a look at our visitor list, again, you see two transport listed here, 2001 and 2002. However, it's not a combined transport. There's no visitor number linked to it. So this means that at this point, as an organization, you expect two drivers to show up to do these different tasks. In reality, it is going to be one driver, and they know that they need to do these two tasks.
Yeah.
What will that look like? Well, let's take a look. Let's go to unloading. I will put in one of my references. I click on next, and here I get a question. Do you have any other references outside of the or next to the 2002 that you already added?
Now you say, damn, I do.
I do.
I do.
I do. I have two papers. I was wondering what they were used for. And in this case, my other reference number is 2001. Let's go to the next flow, and here you can see the whole list of all the references that you added. Of course, again, you can add even more. Yeah.
Perfect.
But in this case, I'm finished.
Okay. Go through the same flow again.
I will indeed go to the same flow again. And there we go again.
Also shows how fast that registration code comes in.
Yes.
That's good as well.
Yeah.
Extra benefits.
And we're done. So, yes. So if I reload my overview, then what you see here
all of a sudden
I've got three different drivers waiting to be dispatched, and they all have two shipments to do.
Yeah.
If I go to my...
And now it has automatically added that visitor number.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a technical code that we generate to link them together. If we go to the dispatch dashboard, then of course we see again that the 2002, which is unloading, even though it comes behind 2001, it's unloading, so it will kick in first.
Okay. And is it difficult to set this all up?
Not at all. Of course not. If we go to configurations,
Mm-hmm.
I will drill down to the combined transport tile. And what we will see here is if we move down on available profiles, we have this setup for Hamburg. That's what I showed you right
Yeah.
now. But as you can see in Ghent, we don't have that yet. So
Let's set that up.
indeed, this site has no available profiles where
Mm-hmm.
this is linked to. Add or remove profiles. I will add profiles. And there you can see, please link combined transport reference between
Mm-hmm.
brackets field to your profile to activate the use of combined transports.
Okay.
I'm going to close that again just to show you what is a combined transport reference. Well, it is listed right here. In this
Okay.
case, it is visitor number.
Mm-hmm.
So that means if I go to the overview of the profiles,
Mm-hmm.
it will redirect me to the place where I need to be. I will need to add it to Ghent unload and to Ghent load. So let's do that. Let's edit it, go to linked fields, add a linked field, and then we have to look to add visit number.
Mm-hmm.
We will select it as an extra field because, of course, this is not something that will be asked to your dispatchers or to your drivers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a logic behind.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I did as well is making it visible in the waiting queue so that you always see
Yeah.
if something is linked to a combined transport.
Okay.
I will save it. I will close this. I will do the exact same for the loading.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the one that I already did it for, I think. Oh no, not yet. Let me look at, there we go.
Visit number.
Yes. Visible in waiting queue, yes. So that is added. Let's go back to
Mm-hmm.
the tile combined transports. And as you can see right here on available profiles, we now have loading and unloading linked to it.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one. Kiosk setting. Enable drivers to communicate reference during registration. So that is what you have to enable or disable if you don't want to use it, of course,
Mm-hmm.
when you want to enable drivers to create their own combined transport. So meaning that drivers can, if you didn't know it was a combined transport, still make it a combined transport.
So that's that question. Do you have any other references?
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
If we then take a look at the operational sequence, first by profile, as you can see now, because I edited load first and unload second, it's now in an unlogic way. I just drag and drop it so that unloading happens before loading.
That makes more sense.
Indeed. And then you can even do a secondary logic behind it, such as custom fields, such as start slot, meaning that if you have different drivers waiting to do that combination, that you will secondly select the start slot time if you have, for example, a slot booking tool or integration live as well.
Yeah.
I click save.
Always save.
Yes, always save. And that's it.
We're all set?
It's set. Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's summarize.
I will
Yes.
stop sharing my screen.
That's better. You can maybe put us bigger again if you like.
Yes.
That's a bit nicer.
Yeah.
All right. So you can hit all your KPIs with the combined transports, especially the 3 that we mentioned. Also, you skip all those unnecessarily complicated flows. Once you set it up, it's super intuitive and very easy. Your drivers can now register multiple shipments in one go, expected or unexpected. And of course, there will be less dispatching mistakes, which will also save time. And in the end, money.
And that's basically what the KPIs are all about,
and that's
right?
what we all want. Yes. All right, so let's move on to the Q&A. Now we explained everything. I see one question in chat. What if the driver only puts one number in? Can he still continue the process? So if he doesn't put in the second reference when asked?
Yeah, then you will only have that one reference, of course, linked to it, unless your system knew upfront that they were combined to each other. Then it would do that whole list automatically. If it isn't, you are going to have to rely on your driver. So it is one or the other.
Yeah, so if it's an unexpected transport and the driver doesn't put in the second reference that he probably has when asked, you're still gonna have the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but that of course is human error from the driver. That's difficult to avoid in our tool. I see a question in the questions tab. We use this one already.
Mhm.
Very nice. And I would like to ask how to combine more than two visitors. At the moment, it's only two possible, inbound and outbound. We have three companies at the yard. It can happen that the truck brings three inbound and then load, for example, two outbounds.
That's a very good question. That's typically a deep dive question where your customer success manager
Mm-hmm.
will be able to help you to really analyze the way that it's been set up
Mm-hmm.
with you and think about how we can implement this for your specific case.
Yeah.
So feel free to afterwards reach out to your customer success manager to set up a meeting to go and look at the options for your.
Yeah, because that's a little bit more of a custom work and not something that we can answer right now.
No, indeed.
Okay. I see something popping up in chat. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your question. It's a really good question, but
Mhm.
since it's such a custom situation, I think, yeah, it's best.
Especially with like what would be the logic in the sequence and so
Mhm.
on. So there's a lot of questions coming to my mind right
Yeah,
now.
they will definitely help you with that. Do we have any other questions from any of our guests right now? I don't see anything new in chat. Let me check the questions again. No. Let's give people like a few seconds to think.
Mhm.
And otherwise, we are going to wrap this up for today.
If you have any questions,
Mm-hmm.
then you can also always reach out to your customer success manager
Yes.
to really take a look at how you could set that up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if you have this available in your current bundle, what you could also do is test it out, try it out.
Yeah.
Maybe not with a real life driver, but with somebody, some mock-up settings, and see how that works for you. And then, of course, ask the support of your customer success manager. If you don't have that yet, if you're not a customer yet, then of course you can also reach out to our sales colleagues.
Yes. You can always fill in the contact form on our website if
Mhm.
you're not yet a customer, and we will get back to you as soon as possible, which is usually very
Yeah.
fast. But if you are a customer, just reach out to your customer success manager and they will definitely help you. All right, I don't see any new questions popping up in chat. So thank you guys so much for joining us on this webinar again, and we'll see you next month. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye bye.